I'm a chief heart officer. I'm the first chief heart officer as far as I know. And my role is to meet with every single employee and infuse the agency with empathy. I create a safe space for people to just be without judgment. There wouldn't need to be a role like this if everyone thought of each other as human beings rather than employees.
About to meet VaynerMedia, Claude Silver, who is the Chief of Heart at VaynerMedia. Find out a bit more about her role, about what she does at VaynerMedia, how she connecting almost 800 people to communicate, to collaborate, and let's go.
I feel like we have a really good culture. We spend a lot of time on it. I can't say our workspace is fantastic, but I appreciate that we have an open office. And now what we're really challenged with is how do we make time to work? Because the open office, while it's phenomenal to collaborate, it's also very distracting, and you get stuck multitasking a lot.
How many people work here right now on this floor?
I think on this floor is probably 250-ish. Yeah, 250. And then we have downstairs, which is probably 200. So we're about we're 425 in this building. And then we have we have two other offices in New York. 50, and then we've got like 175. So I don't know if they get too distracted. My hypothesis is that they do. Meaning too distracted by Slack and by Instagram and by this person and that person. And so it can be very difficult to just focus for half an hour at a time. And so we're working on how to hack that. I have a couple ideas.
What are your thoughts? How do you want to hack it?
Well, I just tried it on my team, where we have an hour-long meeting. In the first half an hour, we put all of our phones in a box way over there. We turn off Slack. We all go around the room, and we decide what we're going to work on for half an hour, and only that. And so one person says, oh, I have 3 emails in my drafts I need to get to. Another person says, I need to write this agreement for so forth and so on. And so we all make agreements. The phones are over there. And for half an hour, we're all just working. And there's something very cool about the collective vibe, knowing that we're all working. We're not looking at Facebook, or we're not doing
notifications.
Yeah.
I think all of us, we just turned off our notifications on the phone.
Yeah.
Christoph just had a video on that.
Oh, nice.
And we did that. I did that, I think, 3 weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
It really brings me back to the name of your daughter and peace of mind a little bit. Yeah,
absolutely. So we've now done it 3 times on my team. And that means, and I feel very good about it, like they're jonesing for it. They want it.
Yeah.
And so we're going to roll it out to little pilot teams and see if it's something that they're attracted to.
How big are your pilot teams?
Account teams can be anywhere from 15 to 30 people, but it has to be a commitment. It can't be, 3 people do it and 4 people don't. So
how do you create that commitment?
Well, I think at first I'm going to bring people together to talk about multitasking and like single focus and then multitasking, and the stats that I've seen. Funny enough, I just saw them a few weeks ago, which is when we started this. The stat is something like, for every minute you are not focused and you're multitasking, it takes you 25 minutes to get back into the game.
Right.
So I don't know if that's true or not. I just happen to have seen it. But so I want to talk to everyone and have a jam session on, like, is this something, do you find that you are busy with notifications and Slack and your phone and this and that? Yes. how much more efficient can you be if you focus a lot? Okay, cool. Let's try this, and we'll try it.
So yeah, and then by experience and
Yeah. I mean, we try. I'm an experiential learner, so everything that I try to do here is something that I'm going to do myself. It's not like, you guys figure this out and come back to me. More so, I want to experience it because I also get distracted. My role is different than someone on the floor who is getting a campaign out the door or figuring out collecting the data or analysis on whatever. My role is so much more high touch that I'm sitting in this room. You see that there's no desk in this room. I mean,
Yeah, this is where you spend
all my time.
all your time.
Yeah. And so
It's almost more like a small living room.
Yeah.
In a way.
Living room, therapy office.
Therapy office.
Yeah. Sometimes it gets real cluttered, like today, but it's imagine when it's daylight out, the entire Hudson River is right there. There's One World Trade right there. It's very peaceful for people to come in here and just sit for a second, relax.
So what do people? They come to your office. What is your? You just said your role. Describe your role fast because we haven't.
Yeah, so I'm a chief heart officer. I'm the first chief heart officer as far as I know. And my role is to meet with every single employee and infuse the agency with empathy. That is my role. It's never changed from the minute Gary and I decided on the role.
How did you decide on the role?
Well, we didn't really have HR. We had like a little bit of HR, but it wasn't really like robust. And he and I both have a very similar belief in humans and possibility and identifying roadblocks and working through roadblocks. And the way, I was first hired to run a very large account here. I come from a background of working in advertising agencies and working on global accounts. But it dawned on me I just wasn't interested anymore. I had two jobs. One job is always the one that I'm paid for, and the other job is always the me job.
Yeah.
So I went to him and I said, I'm really only interested in the me job and what I know, playing to my strengths. He said, what do you mean? I said, I'm only interested in the heartbeat of this place. I'm only interested in the people. And we created the Chief Heart Officer role, which is a role that he created really to scale himself.
How did you know what was, you said, I want the me role. How did you find out what was you?
Well, I mean, that's a long journey. That's a journey I've known from a very, very young age that I was highly intuitive and very good with people. And I'm a good listener, I'm good with taking care of people, I'm a good champion, a cheerleader, whether or not it was with friends or sports teams. I create a safe space for people to just be without judgment. And that's my thing.
Can I stay here?
Yeah.
Can I move in?
Yeah. I mean, but that's my thing.
Yeah.
That I don't have to work to do that. And other people have their thing. And they don't have to work to be, a really smart chemist, for example, or whatever. So the role was created to scale him, and the remit of the role was to sit with every single employee, which I do repetitively. Now, it takes a while to go through every employee.
You have 700?
800, yeah.
800?
So I haven't gone through all 800. And that requires me traveling, of course. I know probably 450 people, I would say, well.
How often do you meet? Is there a schedule you meet people, or how do you organize to meet all of them? And also I can only assume, because the work you do, although it's no work for you, it takes a lot of energy to listen to to people. How do you? What is your schedule? And
so let me just show you everything. I mean, this is my day, so this is
wow.
tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
Okay, so it's really
So they're
organized in 20-minute slots?
15
minute slots?
And it's color coded, so I know what I'm doing, or how a red I can't move.
Right.
Dark blue is external.
Nice.
Light blue is internal. So, and this is every day, every week,
And people come to you, or do you go to people to see them?
Proactively go out to people, and people come to me. So, because I oversee what is called people and experience here, or otherwise known as HR, people will proactively come and chat with me. Now, there's other people that they can chat with that are before you would get to me, which is great. And I super try to empower them to meet with their business partners. And then for me, I walk the floor and I get a sense of who I feel like I need to meet with, or I meet with an entire department, which will take me, it could take me anywhere from 3 weeks to 7 weeks, depending on how many other things, come into my day. I can meet with people that have been here for 180 days, or all people that have been here 5 years and more. I can meet with people who are up for review. I have a rhyme and a reason. Or I know that someone's having a really difficult time. Either I can sense it or someone's told me, and so I get time with them.
What are the topics that people have? I mean, of course, there's private things.
Yeah. We're looking at the entire human being here, like the whole human. And so those types of things are really important, or did you get engaged this past weekend? Is your dog in the hospital? Are you fighting with your spouse? These are things that come here. I don't know how to communicate with my manager, or I didn't get the raise I wanted, or I want to switch teams and I don't know how to talk to my manager, or I'm a manager, I need to give feedback to my team, how's the best way to do that so that I don't hurt their feelings. And
when would you say a role like yours makes sense in companies? Should there be one where it's like a group of 3 already, someone taking care of the group dynamic in a way?
I mean, I feel like there wouldn't need to be a role like this if everyone thought of each other as human beings rather than employees. So if everyone looked at each other as a whole human and treated each other as though you're my friend rather than my coworker, I don't think you'd need this kind of role. You'd already have kindness baked in. You'd have gratitude baked in. Think of how you are with your friends. Appreciation, recognition. You would not be fearful. You wouldn't be full of ego. You would share your toys.
Why do we not have that at work?
Well, I think that I can't speak to the entire world. I can only speak to the world.
Well, you have a very good reach, that's for sure.
So the world I know is fear. I think that we have built hierarchical structures, and so in hierarchical structures, you're right as you get to the top. You're correct, you're seen, you're recognized as you get to the top. And the top sometimes wields a lot of power, and people make decisions from an ivory tower, not taking into account that culture is everyone's responsibility, and without that person and that person and that person, nothing gets done. So I feel as though we've just become, Icarus. We've just flown so high that, the story of Icarus.
When you fly too low, you go in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
When you fly too high, you burn your feathers.
Yeah, and so I think the fact of the matter is, I feel like we've burned. And there are some companies that have been wildly successful because they were on top of it and ahead of it and taking care of their people. And others are now, have a high attrition rate and people are unhealthy and unhappy. So I want to do something about that.
Who's taking care of you?
I get that question a lot.
Oh, you do?
I really do. It's so, which is such a wonderful question. It's such a generous question. It really is. So thank you for asking it. So my family is taking care of me. I have friends in different parts of the world who are here and I can go to for whatever magic they're going to give me, whatever support they're going to give me. I exercise. I have a great relationship with Gary. I listen to music.
What kind of music?
My family. I listen to everything from a lot of trance music, which I like quite a bit, like Armin van Buuren and other stuff. Block Party, I like a lot of alternative music. I'm a child of the 80s, so Sisters of Mercy, The Cure,
Nice.
And then every now and then I'll listen to some like Vivaldi, and because that was kind of the rock music of that time, Bach.
Yeah,
I love live concerto, like I love going to.
There's actually, I have a hard time pronouncing his name. I think he's from Finland. Vikingur Olafsson is his name. And
Okay.
he plays Bach the most insane way
Really?
I've ever.
You'll have to send me his
yeah,
name.
I'll send you his
Okay.
name, and you can follow him on Instagram too.
Okay.
It's just you listen to him and it's incredible. Yeah,
Okay,
you would
amazing.
like it a lot.
Amazing. What
Yeah.
kind of music do you like?
It really depends on the mood.
Yeah.
I like the way that I like when music creates room for me that I can go into, and sometimes
Yeah.
I need a therapist room, which
Yeah.
would be like maybe classic music or something. And then sometimes I need a room for action.
Yeah.
So that would be different music then.
Right.
It's not Rammstein though.
Right. No, I love what you said. Music can create room. It creates a space for you
it's
to
great space.
be in. And when I can listen to the same music, the same song from days on end. Now, granted, I don't, any other space I'm in, I have music on, except in here, because my job is to listen, and I can't have a distraction. But the minute I leave here, these go on, this goes on, Spotify, and away we go.
I have the feeling there's so much happening here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Yeah, let's talk through it. So every single thing in this room has been given to me.
Right.
There is not one
You
thing
have a relationship with all
everything.
the things.
There's the only thing I've brought in is my jacket, my scarf, and my bag.
And the AirPods.
My earpods, my phone, water bottle, Joe Malone perfume. I clear the room sometimes with this, if I've had if it's been a lot of energy, a lot of maybe I did a termination or some stuck energy, I just spray this and I walk out and that stuff.
Nice.
So I was telling you that when I was first hired here, I ran the Unilever account. And I had a wonderful team, about 50 people. And when I left to come to this role, they made me this gorgeous print.
Piece of art.
Yeah. And before they turned it around and gave it to me, they started to read every single stanza. And when they got to the third one, I just started crying, and I realized they had been keeping record of everything I had been telling them. And that print is just incredible. So I can't, I honestly can't believe it.
And I probably can't read it out because then you would start crying.
No. I can.
People will never forget how you make them feel.
Yeah. So going with people will never forget how you made them feel. One of my favorite little poems is this one by Maya Angelou. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So someone gave me that, and then 2 years later, someone on Instagram gave me that again. Same thing.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
And then today, someone sent me this.
Wow.
It's amazing. So those things are very important to me. Every single book here, with the exception of two, have
one is
been
your favorite?
given to me. Well, the
you
ones
probably
that are
can't.
my favorite are the ones, I love, this is the one I brought in, Where the Wild Things Are.
I've seen this. It looks familiar.
Yeah, it's a fantastic, it's a children's book, but it's really much more. I think it's, the story is really about saying no to the noise in your head I think. So I love that book.
Where was it made? It looks so familiar.
Oh, it was made 50 years ago.
Yeah, that's maybe.
Maurice Sendak. Amazing. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you take it home and give it to your children?
No, I cannot do that.
No? Why not?
I would love
because
to,
it's in
but
English?
it's yours.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I'd love for you to have it.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I'm sorry it's a little tattered.
No, that makes it even more unique.
That's my favorite book.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Yeah.
So then we had, Brene Brown. I love all of these incredible books on leadership or culture or, vulnerability and courage.
Simon Sinek, of course.
Simon Sinek. Someone made me this incredible mug, and someone gave me this American flag. They flew a plane. He was in the Army, and he flew a plane and carried the flag in my honor because his wife was here on my team. And it turns out that when someone from the military is out at, doing their thing, is out in the field, it's a huge, huge honor when they don't have to think and worry about how their spouse is. Their family is. So this was a thank you.
Wow.
Which is pretty amazing. And then I went to speak at the Air Force, and someone gave me that. And it's, what can I say? It's a gorgeous, I'm honored on a daily basis. I believe in radical candor and being very forthcoming with feedback, because feedback is a gift that we give to one another. And so,
is there feedback rules when you give each other feedback, like
rules
as in
how to do it?
Yeah.
Well, you want to be kind and clear, you want to give specifics, you want to be action oriented, and you want to check up on them. So if I'm giving someone feedback, I want to be obviously very kind, but I want to be honest. And I want to be very specific at the feedback, why I'm giving them this piece of feedback, and then the actions they can take to improve, to move forward. And then if I'm their boss, their manager, I'm going to check in on you. I'm going to work with you on it. It's all about this collaboration, connection. It's a lot going on here. It's an incredible, someone made this jacket for me.
Oh, wow.
I mean, VaynerMedia, heart. It's just, I'm blown away.
Yeah, but that's probably why you feel so comfortable in this room. Like when you get in, you can feel, like I said, it feels like a living room because it's very personal.
Yeah, it is.
It's so personal, with like pictures on the wall and
thank you. Yeah, I have a whiteboard that I use to do a lot of coaching in, or explanation of things. I like plants because I need some life, and that gives me a lot of oxygen, and I just have a lot of joy. I mean, I redo this wall probably every 6 months, and then
you can stick on the entire side, can you?
Yeah. It's a cork board.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is my little world. Someone gave me this.
That's probably for anti-stressing you.
Yeah.
Like you can just squeeze
I love it. Yeah.
Oh, does it squeeze? No, it's
No.
more like a stone.
Yeah, it's just raw like a stone.
Yeah. Nice.
That's great. So this is my little world. I'm happy when people come in, and I'm happy when I go sit on the floor and other people come into this room and do their thing, and it's for everyone. So that's my place.
Thank you so much for taking time,
Thank
especially
you.
because it's 5:30 and you're about to head home to see Lady Peace.
Yes, I know, Lady Peace, I know.